Hello viewers, I want to welcome you back to Land of Brandon. Now, the second episode of Relationship Advice with Madam Elina Rwanga. We are glad to have you, Madam.
Thank you very much, Mr. Agaba. I am glad to be here. I am glad to be sharing something with friends, with viewers, and I pray that the Lord will speak to us while we share.
I thank you so much. The questions she's responding to are welcome, all coming from us, the singles or those in relationships. So, where she has not clearly put what you want to understand, put it in the comment. Put a question in the comment section. We will know and then task her to give us the feedback with better with better information. So please don't fear to ask, because we are here to learn, we are here to grow. What has kept you alive and well? Because from the last episode, your experience doesn't speak as to why you are so lively, so alive and well. So what keeps you alive and well?
Thank you very much, Mr. Agaba. The truth of the matter is that the hope in God in all situations keeps me going, even in my marriage. Let me tell you, usually those that have been in marriage for some time, they usually make this comment that marriage is not a bed of roses. And when we were in courtship with my husband, I usually say, but these people, so they like to say a lot of negative things about marriage. But why? You know, like I would see those moments when we are really enjoying each other, we are happy, we are smiling, making fun and all that.
That is courtship?
Yes, in courtship. Okay. So I would not imagine where someone saying marriage is not a bed of roses. And I'd be like, no, if a challenge comes, we can always sort it out. But experience this year, in December 1st, I'll be making 10 years in marriage.
Oh,
so now this, thank you very much and glory be to God. So this time I have spent in marriage, I have seen it, and I now agree with those people that surely, like in any other relationship, be it parental relationship, mother and children, job relationships, and above all, if you're a Christian, you know that you are in a world which was stricken by sin. There will always be challenges. So if challenges are out there with other relationships, what about in marriage? And for marriage, actually, there will even be more. Why will they be more? Because like I said last time, that marriage is an institution that God is interested in so much here on earth. God is interested in many things here. But one of the things, or one of the institutions that God is interested in is the marriage institution. And if God has interest in the marriage institution, then the devil too has interest in it. And so marriage is like a battlefield, or is a battlefield. So the devil is fighting, and God too is fighting, so that these two, and maybe those that have joined them in the family, maybe children, will be happy. They will live a life of godliness, so that God's name can be glorified on earth as He prepares them to for the heavenly kingdom. So for me, what has kept me in a nutshell is that the hope in the Lord, that even when I go through any challenge, even what I have gone through in my marriage, I have always looked unto God, and I say, God, you are the founder of this relationship. You are the founder of my family. You are the creator of my husband. You created me too. I pray for peace to prevail. I pray for wisdom. That is what has kept me. The trust in the Lord for His providence and for His guidance.
It's a beautiful intro.
Thank you very much.
To begin with God and love.
Yes.
You seem to suggest that next to God is love in the success of the marriage.
Yes.
So what did you look up to apart from God and love in Mr. Ezra?
Now, one of the things that, like I told you, I grew up as an orphan. I grew up with my grandmother, and she was this strict. I would say, like the youth would say strict, but like I said, now as a grown-up person, I know she was just principled. So growing up in that kind of setting where everything had to be done right, especially by a firstborn, you're supposed to be one to guide
You're firstborn.
Yes.
That's why we are here. I'm also firstborn.
We thank God.
Sure.
So growing as a firstborn and your grandmother wants you to be in line, you need to be right at all times.
Yes.
So I found out that, okay, now if this is what life calls for, if I need to be successful, this is what I have to be. I didn't really receive that pampering, like most children get. Oh, mommy, oh, daddy. I don't know, I didn't feel loved. But today I can say I was loved because I was taught how to really be a responsible person. So as I grew up, I really, even up to today, so I tell my husband, no, I also need to be a baby because I never experienced how it means to be
a baby.
Yes. So I said, I'm not gonna bring some water. Give me some water. You see? So somehow I was like, I'm looking for someone who is an Adventist, converted, committed, one who can really be loving, one who can be caring, supportive. And when I looked at Mr. Hezron, I really saw those things. And by God's grace, I'm even continuing to see more. Even when I see some challenges, but I see more of the beauty. Meaning, when the more time you spend with someone, you will actually discover many other good things that you did not know. But if you're this type who is looking for the bad things, you will also get them. But I have learned as a married person that even when you identify and notice things that are not good with your spouse, don't concentrate on them. Concentrate on the good things, and they will cover up for the bad things. And through prayer, these bad things, the Lord has the power to change. And if He doesn't change your spouse for those bad things, then He can change you to be able to accommodate those bad things.
That is a 15 phase point.
It is very interesting, but I want to tell you, out of experience, I have seen this.
We praise God for
Amen.
that. I have said that is a 15 phase. I will grow to understand and appreciate that.
You will.
You seem to have suggested, from what you were saying, that when you looked at Hazel,
yes,
you saw that.
Yes.
What do you mean by just looking? Okay, are you suggesting lovers at first sight?
No.
Okay, what do you mean?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, when we continued, because when we met, it really took us like a year. We spent a year
dating.
Before actually the dating, we had met. Actually, for him, he had been seeing me since 2011.
For him, I know. Even before that, he was considered.
He says, "Me, I met you. I saw you, but I actually didn't know that you would even be available." So I'm like, now thank me.
So you serious?
I said, thank me, and thank God that I was actually present. Yet you didn't. I was present. So, but we met. I think in a year's time, and we finally came closer to each other. We started talking, and at some particular date, we agreed and said we need to meet and really have a serious meeting and talk about what is the future of this relationship.
Beyond this usual meeting.
Yeah, beyond this usual meeting. We need to have a serious meeting and really discuss and know where this relationship, because
are we just meeting?
So that we can take a step from the casual meeting to now a focused, purposeful meeting and relationship.
Okay, I saw in the newspaper where somebody we associate somewhere said he must declare.
Yes, and actually he had to declare.
I had to declare the feeling.
Yes.
Are you the one who initiated? He is the one who initiated. The request for this special meeting.
I'll say that both of us had interest in this. Like we would be talking, and then there's one particular day when we said, let's meet at some point. I'll not mention it because people may.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
So we had this meeting, like, let's meet there and talk about it. Said, yes, sure. So we actually met. Both of us really had interest. You know, in a dating relationship,
Yes.
as you continue to talk to this person, you continue to know who they are, you pick interest. There are some characteristics you see and you take note, but you keep quiet at them, but pray about them. You're like, God, is what I'm seeing real? Do I put an acceptance to this, or do I put a request to this? If it is for a man, do I put a request to this? So when we continued relating, we reached a point when we could not pretend. You know, lovers love pretending.
Yes.
So we said, you know, I think both of us are grown
Mature.
up. Yes, we are mature. I think we really need to meet, and for sure we met, and that meeting has borne us fruits by the grace of God.
We thank the Lord. Okay. Now that you are attending to 10 years of experience, you look back and see properly. The picture is clear behind you.
Yeah.
So, what could you base on to say, I was in love and not infatuated?
Yes. Now, this is what happened. When we met, like I told you last time, that I used to spend good time in women ministries.
Yes.
So when Mr. Hezron got to know that I am a person of ministry and women
Church
ministry,
ministry,
yes, and we used to move out. So whenever he knew that, or whenever I knew that we have this meeting, like we would be visiting somewhere, I would send him an invitation. Women ministry is visiting this church or is going to do this mission. Do you mind if we would move together?
Yes.
So he would accept gladly. He would gladly accept the invitation. So somehow, how do you know that really this person? People are like, when a person starts to get interested in what you're interested in, it is one way of saying that even when we come together, I'll still continue. But of course, like I told you, that man is deceitful. It's only God who can. And when I say man, I mean human beings. Prayer, you have to pray about this. There are those who have pretended, oh, wherever you go, I'll go with you. But when they don't actually mean it.
Just say.
But when you pray, you can even still be able to tell that this person is coming just because there is something he or she wants from me, or this person really means that he or she is also in for this. It is good to minister. It is good to reach out to other people.
Yes.
But by the grace of God, I really see that this person, like I told you, that how would you tell that this person is really serious, this person, what he portrays on the outside? The Lord can reveal to you in different ways. The Lord can reveal to you and you can know. But the Lord can also tell through responsible, faithful servants of the Lord. For example, here in this part of the world, the central part of Uganda, there is a saying that eriiso ly'omukulu awaddugala weewalaba, that an eye of the adult can really tell. So when we would move with Mr. Hezron, amidst all these women, they were grown-up women. Some were married, some were not married, but in places of responsibilities. And there is, experience is also a teacher.
Sure.
The experience is a teacher. And from what I would tell from them, they were approving of him. And that also gave me
energy.
Yes, it gave me the courage to continue trusting, in this relationship. And for sure, the Lord has been good in this relationship to us.
Okay. You said you wanted a religious man.
Yes.
Loving man, one who
committed.
What else? Is that all you wanted?
Meet those who are basic, because I knew that beauty lies in the hands of the beholder. I agree to that. So I need women today say, I want a guy who is a hunk. He should be tall. you should be handsome. After today we even crack jokes and you're like, I didn't know you were really handsome. And he also says, I didn't know you were Elina, you were beautiful. Say, are you sure? You mean.
You were blindfolded.
So for sure I can tell you that I didn't look at his handsomeness or beauty or what. No. I looked at those virtues. Let me tell you, beauty can fade. Assuming maybe someone gets an accident, what will happen? He had these beautiful eyes and maybe now remains one-eyed. What will happen? Will you divorce? So beauty is okay, you can look at it, but there are virtues. These are principles, values that a person holds.
Yes.
These, when they stay, your marriage will stay. And if they are tampered with, then challenges will come, sadness, and many issues. So for me, I needed someone who has values, like I've told you, the Adventist-based faith, the commitment, where I knew that this person says, till death does you apart. That is what I looked for, and I still pray about it.
Okay.
Yes.
You had earlier said this man should be a listening one.
Yes.
How would you tell this one is listening, this one is not?
Listening, let me tell you, there is power in someone who listens. Like we all know that we go through a number of challenges. When you start working, as you go to work, there are challenges you're met with. And you want someone who can, when you come home, someone who can listen and understand you and comfort you and console you, you see? And then, I mean, you can have challenges maybe from your family, or from your relatives.
Yes.
It can be challenges from the church, from the community. And if you go home and you don't have anybody to talk to, to listen to you, you can have depression, you can have stress, and that is what at times singles go through. They are challenged, and in their challenges, they don't have a confidant. They don't have someone who they trust that will share their burdens. In short, marriage, the ideal marriage is supposed to help us belong to a relationship where we are supposed to be understood, where we are supposed to be supported in all situations. So that I prayed for that, and I thank the Lord. His husband does it. He listens. But also there are
Also?
Yeah, but also you find that we have different temperaments or personality types.
Yes.
If you are this kind of person who is choleric, and you love talking, and you marry a person who is also a choleric, who also loves talking, who is going to listen to the other? So in a way, these personality types, if you have someone who is choleric, one who loves talking a lot, and then you have this person who is an introvert, one who loves, who is a bit calm, can listen to what you talk and all that, there is a way you will blend. Yet if all of you are talking, then who will listen? So you will find yourself like as if you're struggling for airtime. I want to talk, you want to talk. She wants to talk, you want to talk. But there should always be that balance. Like if someone gets annoyed, then the other person should calm down. If the other person is relaxed, then an issue can be addressed.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Like we have been asking that you selected one out of your pool, and you could have rejected one or two. Why?
No, I want to tell the young people out there that when you are a lady, you are a flower. And the flower reaches some maturity stage where it is really beautiful, and everyone wants to pluck it and take it. Okay, let's take an example of a rose flower. The rose flower, in its maturity stage, it has blossomed. It is very beautiful. Everyone wants it.
Yes.
And women, When you reach at this stage where you have these many proposals, you have to pray.
Yes.
If you have never prayed, you have to pray. Because like I say, that many will come when they have masked, they are pretending to be what they are not. Yes, they may be of your faith, but when they are not really committed, because what I have understood biblically about marriage is that it is an eternal relationship where only death has to separate you or to do you apart. But many of these who may come may just be someone just wants you, say, for sex, and they go away. Another person maybe has known that you have this good job, so they're like, this one will be able to sponsor the wedding. Another person will be like, I have some 2 children, so if I get married to this woman, she can help me. But you know, marriage is companionship. That is why the Bible says that God gave to Adam a suitable companion. To be companion, you're supposed to be helpmate, to help each other, to be supportive to each other. You see, God has gifted us differently. My talents, coupled with Mr. Hezron's talents, we make something that is good for our family, for the church, and for the community. But where someone thinks that he's going to benefit, and for her or for him, he will fold the hands, no, then that is not good. So the women and the men at the same time have to pray that the Lord will help them identify someone who will be a companion or a complement. Yes. And you can tell that.
Okay. What do you look at? What do you think should be the determinant of a successful marriage?
Now,
because I think when you looked at him and appreciated him, there are things you knew 10 years down the road. So what do you think are the determinants of a successful marriage?
I want to think, in my opinion, first and foremost, one who you think is going to be your spouse till death does you apart should be someone who is a believer in God. I don't know which faith you may be believing in, but for me as an Adventist, someone who has understood God in his Adventist faith would make a good relationship. Because in each of our faith, we have principles that we have learned. And like I have said, for us, we have learned that marriage is eternal. It is for eternal interests. It is God who binds you. And so there is nothing which should separate you. So what you should look for is, in your talking, as you interact with this person, find out what this person thinks about marriage. Does he think it is a hit and run? Does he think, okay, when things go bad, then we can let go of each other? Or this person says, like all other relationships, when challenges come, by God's grace, we are ready to meet them and we move forward. Yes. So one of the things you must look at is someone's faith, which you cannot determine by the physical eyes, but by God's grace and his guiding, he will lead you to a person who is actually a serious Christian and one who can uphold the marriage regardless of the challenges.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear you say or highlight faith as probably the most important.
Yes.
One of my online mentors by the name Kingsley Okonko suggests that where you invest is where you harvest. Is it not possible that someone has invested in religion and not invested in a relationship, in financial, like prowess? And so they are religious, but when it comes to relationship, they don't know how.
Okay, now let me share this to the viewers and to Mr. Brandon.
Yes.
That for us, as I will talk about, I'll base this according to the Adventist faith because I understand.
Yes,
If you,
it's fine.
yes, for us we have a number of departments. We have family life, we have children ministry,
Yes,
women
yes.
ministry, and all those things.
Yes.
So when we are nurturing our people, our young people, we have those number of sessions. But
Yes.
even if you belong to a different faith, when you contemplate marriage as a young person, and you have known one of the basic things is the faith or the religious background.
You must share.
But apart from that, there are other things that make up marriage.
Yes,
For
yes.
example, your economic status will matter in your marriage. Why does it matter? Because when you come together, we have known or we teach the young people that marriage is responsibility. You have been a single person. Sometimes you eat, other times you're like, no, I may not eat, and you will still stay. But when you come together as two persons, you cannot stay in the house without eating. You will need to eat. Now, if the Lord blesses you and you get children, how will you tell the children we don't have food? You children go and sleep, will you? They'll cry and cry and cry. So this means that apart from the faith, now you look at, is this person that I want to enter into relationship with, shall we be able to support ourselves? Can we be able to afford an accommodation, somewhere to stay? Can we be able to provide basic needs for ourselves?
Yes.
By God's grace, when we get children, are we able to take these children to school? At that moment, you may not have all it takes, but if you have this prospect, you're working, you know?
Yes.
So it is important that young men contemplating marriage must be hardworking. They must have a source of income because they will need money to survive. They will need food, they will need clothing, they need space for sleeping, that is a residence, you see? Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. You are simply suggesting you love yourself, it is okay, but there are other things
To take
apart from religion, love, and there are more things to do.
Yes.
As we close this, some have interest to marry, but never marry.
Yes.
Some have interest to marry, and are out and in all the time. Some have no interest. What is your suggestion? What is your take on marriage material? Some people say this one is not marriage material. So what is your take on that?
This is a big question, but I can try to say something about it.
Oh, sure.
Now, marriage material simply means, do you have the qualities to be married? People look for many things. Someone can say, I want someone who is a serious, committed Christian. I want someone who is hardworking, because when you get married, we shall not drink water alone, because you know water can easily be good. But by the way, also at some point, you find that you have to buy water. So someone says, no, I need someone who is a Christian, serious Christian, committed Christian, but this person should be hardworking because we need to survive. This person should be loving. This person should be caring, understanding, should be respectful.
Sure.
This person should be kind. Those are qualities. But there are those. So out of all those and others I have not mentioned, each person can pick what is key for them. You can say like 5. If this person meets the 5 qualities, I think I am good to go. The others, because we are in the world, by God's grace, I will pray that the Lord will help us move. Because even when you move the whole world, you may never find one who is perfect and meets all your qualities that you're interested in. At least you'll find a few that are major, and you're like, God, these will act as our pillars. We'll always look unto these. So you talk about them, you agree about them, you pray about them, you try to, for us in counseling, we tell people, you do premarital counseling. Some of the things by there we think are problems are not really problems. It is just that you, as a person, it's you who has to adjust and understand how to deal with such persons. Like I talked about personalities. We have different personalities. If a person is choleric and the person loves talking, I'm going to make this person who is 30 years or 35 years old and You have just come in 1 year, you want this person to be quiet and listen to you, it may be hard.
Sure.
But in a counseling session, you can learn to give a listening. Find yourselves moving and enjoying each other. And by the way, still out of experience, I have seen when you get married, like the other person is choleric, this other person is introverted, there is a way you strike a balance as you continue living together. There is a way now you also, but I have talked too much. I think I've heard of some husbands who even say, I think I have talked so much. Can you also say something?
I hear
And
you.
yeah, so you crack those jokes and you're like, I have to, you listen to yourself and you're like, no. If you really love this person, you also say, I think I should also listen to her. So experience and living together and looking unto God to guide you and being understanding, you can be able to reach a level of where you say no. You strike a balance.
Okay.
You strike a balance.
Okay, thank you so much. One of the mentors, as I've mentioned, says if you are not a pillar, then you are a caterpillar.
That's
So
not good.
as we seek advice, as we grow, let's seek to have some characters to be a pillar somewhere.
Yes.
So thank you so much. You are meeting in the next episode. Still relationship advice. We still want to learn. We are not tired. May the Lord bless you. Please still comment, ask questions. They will be answered.